on top spot, but they were a fabulous pair to watch, him and Li Yang. And now he's trying to repeat the success with his new partner, Chiu. Both very tall men also. I should add, look at that, Chiu Xiangche, 189 centimeters from Taichung. Have a win-loss record of 5-3 this year. In the second round, the win-loss is at 1-0. He only played 2 tournaments in 2026. And the Asian Team Championships, where they reached the quarterfinals with Chinese Taipei before losing to China. And the German Open last week, where they got to the semi-finals, losing to Mayo and Village of France in straight games. So that was their only second round win at the German Open. Beat another Malaysian pair in Azrin and Tan Mikyong, 18 and 14 in 41 minutes. So they've had some practice in playing the Malaysian pairs, but like I said, the Malaysians have really crowded out the draw at this year's All England and men's doubles. So it's not surprising that they're playing Malaysians potentially 3 rounds in a row. Man Wei Chong, 26 years of age, from Malacca in Malaysia. He is currently 6th in the world with his partner, T Kai Wun, gone up as high as number 4. That was in December last year. And he's a year older than his partner, who's 25. And they have a win-loss record of 7-3 this year. In the second round, it's a perfect record of 3 wins and no losses. They've played 3 tournaments this year, and in all 3 tournaments, they won in the second round and got to the quarterfinals. And that's where they've come undone. That's what the sort of pattern has been this year. Beat Li and Li in the first round, good win. 17 and 16 in 41 minutes. So they have too played a pair from Chinese Taipei. So they're both familiar with each other's styles in this tournament. Amanda Ballum is your umpire from England. And in the service judges chair is Eiji Nonoguchi of Japan. They are your officials. So a second meeting between these two. Can Chiu and Wang get themselves a victory over these 2 Malaysian exciting players? All 4 of them. Who will come out on top is the question.
Wang, you serve, yes? You serve? Receive, you said receive. I apologise. Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Man Wei Chong, Kai Won T, Malaysia. And on my left, Chiu Sung-che and Wan Qinlin, Chinese Taipei. Kai Won T to serve to Wang Qinlin. Love all. Play.
Yeah, good serve to begin with.
Good start of the match,
yep,
for the Malaysians.
Service over. 1-all.
Oh, and that coming in the way a couple of times now.
2-1
for Man Wei Chong.
But I like the idea though. There's a lot of room to play the soft shot there.
Oh, look. It's always fun when they try the tweener.
Service over. 2-all.
It always doesn't look like they're trying. They're just
reacting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but it's such a hard shot to make in badminton because it's played at such a fast pace.
3-2.
So like, how do you get any control?
By not thinking.
You just go for it, try your luck, right?
Nice defensive shot.
Ooh, wow.
Talking about defensive shots.
Wow. The persistence paid off the Malaysians.
Yeah, Chiu did very well staying in that rally. Some good reflexes there from both pairs.
How quick and flat that exchange was. Doesn't really give you time to think, does it?
No, some short rallies. Also gives you not a lot of room to settle in. Good quality.
Still defending. Oh, Tan.
Well worked by the Malaysians.
Chiu obviously with the decisive blow, but throughout the Malaysians in charge of that rally.
Yeah, 100%. Good setup by Mambe Chang there, finishing up by his partner. What surprises me is that Chiu is helping Wang Jilin so much in retrieving those softer block shots.
Service over.
Chiu, just 23 years of age.
7-4.
He is definitely the more athletic and has the, you know, the legs.
Yeah, I played him a few times when he was still playing mixed. And it was never nice to play a lift
8-4
against that big man. He was having a really good smash as well. Great start for the Malaysians.
Well, they're dictating the rallies. I mean,
It's a little bit of an error-prone game so far.
Yeah, and it's not helping with those kind of mistakes. And I think that's why I don't think they're giving the pair a time to think, time to sort of find a way past. It's quick fire, 10 points.
Yeah, and 4 minutes of playing time. That is nice. That is some great touch from the net.
5-10.
Well, they much needed that, that's for sure.
Nice overplay.
Yeah, good change of pace.
Great rally by the Malaysians.
Yeah,
Like you said, great change of pace.
mixed it up well.
Mix it up well, using some steep angles. And this one.
And then TK won again with the final blow. So it's Malaysia who's well on top, 11-5, but it's the rate they've done it at, just 5 minutes of play.
Yeah, it's incredibly fast.
Yep, 6-point advantage to the number 6 seeds.
Court 2, 20 seconds. Court 2, 20 seconds. Players on court. Man, T on court. Eleven, 5. Play.
11-5 in favor of Man and T of Malaysia. And finally, that's much more.
That was the big smash I was talking about earlier.
Much stronger, much better to see.
Service over.
Look at it.
6-11.
I'm saying they're such tall players. They're not. It was like you're not using your height, you're not using your wingspan, none of it in those first half.
No, but it's also to do with how the Malaysians are playing. They're not giving their opponents time to attack.
12-6.
Well, I'm sure Chen Ling, the coach, had plenty to say to Chiu and Wang at the break. It's an interesting thing that he used to partner Wang Qilin not so long ago, and now he's coaching him. I wonder how that dynamic works, right? Because when he retired, he paired up Wang Qilin with Li Yang, and then Li Yang retired, and Wang Qilin's still going strong. So it's been quite an interesting sort of development of the relationship between Chung and Wang Qilin.
Yeah, but on the other hand, you know each other really, really well. So also from a coaching's perspective, you know how to put him on a good thinking pad, I would say.
Sort of get through to him, right?
Exactly. You know what to say at what time. You know how he's going to react in when he's stressed.
Oh. Again, just that quickness, that exchange, they kept it flat. Really well played by the Malaysians. They've been doing it. It's the fact that they are able to play all aspects of the game. They didn't need the steep angles on that occasion.
Eight. Service over. 9-14.
Oh. That's always frustrating.
Yeah, a lot of short rallies. It's also not helping by getting into a game when the rallies are this short.
Oh, I completely missed that. Can't afford to make that kind of mistakes, you know. They're running out of time as far as this opening game is concerned.
Quick.
Change of racket for Wang Qilin.
Hopefully that was one of the reasons.
Like I said, they've had a late start to the season. The first tournament was the Asian Championships, then the German Open. So they haven't really played that January window at all. And maybe that's what's showing.
Service over.
Yeah, I think they got injured as well, right? And you can also see it with the heavily strapping on both of them.
They were still recovering. There you go.
But then nowadays, all players have heavy
strapping of some kind, don't they?
Some kind,
17-10.
Yeah, you don't know whether it's an injury or it's precautionary or...
Look at his knee.
Yeah, but that reminds me of when An Se-young was playing with her knee injury, that kind of strapping.
Yeah, but
18-10.
Man Chang also has the heavy strapping on his right leg as well. Oh, look at it.
Gosh. You've got to admire how athletes play through pain, through injury.
I think the main thought of today is that knees are not happy playing badminton.
I think that you would be the best person to say that, Selena.
I'm allowed to say that because I played with some strapping on myself.
12-18.
Your knees really take a battering, don't they, in badminton?
Yeah, the sport is so intense. It's so quick. You need to move fast.
Miss that.
It can be quite hard on the
Service over.
joints, especially playing in different arenas.
12.
So 2 points away from taking this opening game now. Man and T, it's been a super start. Haven't really been troubled. Look at that. Good defense, and then eventually the mistake
Service over.
from the Malaysian end,
13-19.
because they try to close out that point a couple of times.
Yeah, I feel like there it has been a mistake-prone game instead of the pairs really scoring the points themselves. This is nice. And again, another error.
Service over. 20.
Setting up
point
7.
But I think it's because, you know, again, the back line, maybe not something they want to play, but they've been, Man and T have been so good in that front court, mid-court area.
Yeah, and I also see in this game particularly
So
they're hitting a lot of out on the back line. So
20.
it must be a little bit tougher to control the back line. And of course, when you have 4 big guys on the field, you don't want to play that lift. But here again, long on the back line, and first game it is.
It is to Man and T. Game
First
1
game,
has gone the
Kai
way of the Malaysians.
21-14.
21-14, but again, in very quick and error-prone manner. We've had just about 12 minutes of play, and it's Man and T who have the advantage.
Court 2, 20 seconds. Court 2, 20 seconds.
Well, all players on court, but look at, I mean, we talked about this in the break. Selena, look at the strapping on Wang Chilin.
It's okay.
He's got his arm strapped, his shoulder strapped. He's got some strapping around his legs, his thigh.
Second game.
And it's the perks of being 30 plus.
Play. One love.
Well played by Man Wai Chung. Good alertness at the net.
It doesn't help when you're the oldest player on the court and everyone around you is far freer in terms of their movement.
Service over. 1-1.
This is well played.
2-1. Return the shuttle.
He's trying to talk himself into getting into this match.
Yeah, lifting themselves a little bit up.
Flick serve.
Twice in a row. Good defensive shot. Nice. Oh, that's a missed opportunity there.
3-1.
He did so well in maintaining the attack by blocking the shot. Giving yourself a good opportunity here. Look at this block. I really missed that one.
Yeah, that was going to be put away, wasn't it? But the Malaysian men's doubles, I mean,
Service over.
has been impressive.
2,
And they've just
3.
grown in numbers, Selena.
Yeah, they have 8 pairs in a main draw of the All England.
That is intense.
It is intense.
I mean,
It shows some consistency and some depth in the squad.
Yeah. And they're all very, very high quality pairs because they have beaten all the big names at some point or the other.
Service over.
Yeah, totally agree.
4-2.
I think they look forward to take an All England title with them.
Well, that's one missing from the Malaysian trophy cabinet here, and so came close, but didn't quite get there in recent times. Oh, hesitation. Misjudgment
5-2.
from Man Wei Chong, and this is a good little lead that Chiu and Wang have built up. Desperately need the momentum going their way.
Fault.
Great return of
Service
serve
over.
there. Aggressive
3-5.
with a little bit of a push towards the body of the back player.
What a shot. It's a great reach.
5.
Yeah, but also a nice change of angle. Because normally it's a lot of straightforward play in the men's doubles.
Service over.
No, they're taking turns, aren't they?
6-4.
About making the mistakes. Similar to the first game. I think in the first game it was the Chinese Taipei pair that were making far too many more mistakes than their opponents, but here it's pretty even now in game 2.
Yeah, that's also something the scoreline is reflecting.
Service over. 5-6.
Look at that, 1 point game. Great shot, actually went straight for a very interesting height. I think it was just above shoulder level.
Yeah, and I feel like Kai Wen-tae is really stepping up a little bit here and taking charge of the front court.
That's a good rally. But unfortunately, it goes long.
It's well left, but
Wang
there's a
Chi-lin
challenge from Wang Chi-lin.
challenges called out.
It looks out to me.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, it's well out.
Challenge
So, the
unsuccessful.
Malaysians ahead
1 challenge remaining.
once more.
7-6.
It should be a bit of a concern for Chiu and Wang, who worked pretty hard to get in some kind of advantageous position.
I feel like they're targeting Wang Chi-lin a lot
6.
at the moment. that is really well played.
I mean, that's what they're so good at, right? So you build up the point till you get that lift or you get that shuttle at a height that they can easily kill off or put away.
Yeah, he has such a good power there. Combine it with a nice angle, and you have a very deadly weapon. Oh. He's been really, really good in hunting the net.
Yeah.
9-7.
He's done that time and time again, T.K. Wood. They're not backing down, that's for sure.
Service over. 8-9.
But again, good variation of the attack as well. Again, success with the cross smashes.
I think if the game is played in this front court area over the net, and especially the flatter game, that's when the Malaysians seem to be far more confident, far more comfortable. As soon as the game gets pushed towards the back is where you get a chance by Chiu and Wang to do something. Because they're so good at playing over the tape.
Yeah, and they're so good in playing with speed. So if I was Wang Qilin and Chiu, I would like to play the softer blocks towards the net, earning yourself some time to force the lift out of your opponent. And again here, why would you like to play with speed? Just play soft to the net, give yourself an opportunity to attack.
Yeah, I agree. Well, it's 11-8 now in favor of Man and T in the second game. We've had 10 minutes of play.
Court 2, 20 seconds. Court 2, 20 seconds. Players on court. Eight. Play.
11-8 to number 6 seeds. Looking to reach their 4th quarterfinal of 2026. They did it in Malaysia, they did it in India, and the Indonesia Masters.
Talking about consistency.
Yeah. But then at the quarterfinal stage is where they've all come undone. Unfortunately for them, it's not. It's been a bit of a jinx, the quarterfinals.
This is better.
They need a little bit of height. As soon as they get a little bit of an angle or a little bit of a height, they can put it away easily.
Exactly. But it starts with blocking that first shot and earning that a little bit of height. But they've been doing that well in the past 2 rallies.
Why would you play crouching down?
Because the quality of shot was not good enough.
Yeah.
It went up. And that's the problem. It's all about getting the shuttle below the tape.
That's gone long. Not helping themselves at the moment. Chiu and Wang.
No, you can also see it a little bit on their body languages. Wang Qilin is not happy with himself.
Service over. 11-13.
They have been so strong in the net. I mean, there's very little to say because they have got that net game down to a T, and keeping the opponents quiet. And you know, ever since Coach Harry has come into the Malaysian setup, this is becoming much more of the Malaysian game, where they try and ruin it for their opponents in the front and the mid-court area.
16.
Yeah, he's been a really good influence, especially on, like we said before, on the depth of the squad. Because I feel like they're all been raising their level.
Yes. Well, that's a nice placement.
Serve.
Finds the corner.
Yeah, but it's also about doing something different. Instead of playing the front court all the time, because apparently it has not really been successful so far.
It hasn't worked for them. Much better.
Nice. This is a good rally. Oh, that's a shame. That is a real shame. But I like this kind of rally. It was way
17,
more entertaining,
12.
way more proactive.
Yeah, the
Doing
intensity
the
was
right
high.
things.
The intensity was really high among all 4 players, which is good to see.
Yeah, and this may be some of the rallies you would expect it a little more by going into this match.
And I think that's got to do with the fact that there are fitness issues on the Chinese Taipei end, because this is not typically their game or their performance. On a good day, this would have been a very, very even matchup.
Yeah, I think we could also see it in their last head-to-head, right? It was a close
13,
one.
17.
And the fact that Wang Qilin is sitting down at every break, every opportunity, you know, just tells you that he's feeling it.
Yeah, his overall fitness is not the best it has been.
14, 17.
But also the Malaysians, I've seen them play better. It's also a little bit of an error-prone game from them.
Yeah.
Maybe it has to do something with the focus as well.
I think the fact that it feels a little bit off on both sides tells you a lot about what's the quality levels are. They can't afford to make mistakes like that. Not when they're trying to control the rally.
No,
18,
exactly. And not if you
14.
want to be in the quarterfinals of the All England. It's one of those days where you really want to do well, but nothing seems to work, and it is really frustrating as a badminton player.
4 points
19,
ahead, 3 away
14.
from place in the quarterfinal on Man
2
and
now.
T.
19. 2 more points.
5 points. Beg your pardon. Finally gets through.
This is what we like to see. You can also hear it in the audience. People loved to see those reactions. This well
15,
played.
19.
And that's a flat shot that finally went his way.
And directly the longest rally of this match.
19-15. 4 points. Good serve. Very close to the net,
16,
really low.
19.
Can they close the gap further? Because that will certainly make things interesting. Wow.
A little
3
comeback.
straight points.
A little comeback.
17, 19.
And maybe some nerves for the Malaysians, because they are in a good position
This is interesting now.
of closing out this game.
One more point and it's game on.
It's already game on.
In badminton, yeah, 2 points is very quick. Good serve again, I think. Oh. Wow. How about that? 4 points in a row. They're now just trailing by 1. And Man and T are looking a bit nervy.
They're really looking nervy. Pressure is on.
And coaches need to intervene.
Players on court.
But look also about the shot quality. Every shot goes up. And they need to get it below the tape.
Well, that's what Chiu and Wang have been waiting for. That was much needed. And it was Tikai Woon
20, match
who
point.
decided to take
18.
control of it. Great shot. Great angle. 2 match points.
And there it is. Only needed the one.
Yeah, even another error at the net, unfortunately, for the Chinese Taipei pair. And it is indeed Man and T who secure it in 2. They got a little too close for them, I think, towards the end of that second game. But that was credit to also Chiu and Wang, who made a game of it. But in the end, the number 6 seeds prevail.
Match won by Man Wei Chong.
And the flat
and Tai
exchange
Won
you
T,
see there,
21-14, 21-18.
which has been really troubling Wang Qilin and Chiu Xiangche throughout this match, as he sends it into the net. And it's a confirmation that it took him just 32 minutes to get to the quarterfinal. 21-14, 21-18. Man and T are through. So we've got one more match left, and it's men's doubles once more, as Liang Wei-keng and Wang Chang, the number 3 seeds from China, go up against Chinese Taipei's Li Zhehui and Yang Po-swan. That's up next. You're watching live coverage of the YONEX All England Open Championships 2026, and this is the final match of day 3, round 2, and it's men's doubles on court 2 that will close out the day. Liang Wei-keng and Wang Chan of China, number 3 seeds. They are up against Li Zhehui and Yang Po-swan of Chinese Taipei. Looking at the men's doubles draw, this is the top half you see there, and the winner of this match will have an Indonesian opponent